If a case hinges on a single witness whose health is failing, a litigator faces a narrow window. Under standard procedures, you cannot depose them because the right to sue has not yet accrued. By the time the complaint is filed, the witness may be gone. The same pressure applies when the only person capable of authenticating a critical document is permanently emigrating, moving beyond the reach of local subpoenas. This creates a procedural gap. The lawsuit cannot be filed because a condition precedent has not been met, but waiting for the action to ripen risks the permanent loss of evidence. Rule 24, depositions before action or pending appeal, serves as the fail-safe. It allows for the preservation of testimony in perpetuum re memoriam, in perpetual memory of the matter. Unlike Rule 23, which requires an active pending lawsuit, Rule 24 operates specifically when no trial court currently holds an active case. Using this tool requires a precise execution of Sections 1 through 7 to legally build and secure an evidence vault before the trial begins. Section 1 defines the entry point. A party seeking to perpetuate testimony must file a verified petition. The venue for this petition is specific. It must be filed in the court of the place where any expected adverse party resides. This is the PVR requirement: perpetuate testimony, verified petition, and the residence of the expected adverse party. A common error involves filing the petition in the petitioner's own place of residence for convenience. Because venue in Rule 24 is jurisdictional, filing in the wrong location results in a dismissal of the petition. While a plaintiff in a standard civil action often chooses the venue, Rule 24 restricts the choice to the location of the expected defendant. This restriction serves as a due process safeguard. Since no formal case has been filed, the law requires the petitioner to seek relief in the expected defendant's home court. Section 2 requires the petition to act as a specific blueprint for the future litigation. First, the petitioner must state they expect to be a party to an action, but are presently unable to bring it. This often occurs when a party is still exhausting administrative remedies, a mandatory step that prevents the immediate filing of a complaint. The petition must also detail the subject matter of the expected action, the petitioner's interest, and the names and addresses of all expected adverse parties and deponees. Finally, the petitioner must specify the facts they desire to establish and the substance of the testimony they expect to elicit. This requirement prevents Rule 24 from being used for fishing expeditions. It is a tool for preservation, not a method for discovering unknown facts. If the petitioner has the legal standing to file the main lawsuit immediately, the court will deny the Rule 24 petition, directing the party to use standard Rule 23 discovery instead. Section 3 ensures that the expected adverse party is properly notified before any testimony is taken. The notice and a copy of the petition must be served at least 20 calendar days before the hearing. Unlike standard motions, this notice must be served according to the strict rules for the service of summons. Serving this notice by ordinary registered mail is a common procedural mistake. Because no case is yet pending, the court requires the formal rigors used to initiate a lawsuit. Substituted service is only permissible if the petitioner first proves the impossibility of prompt personal service under Rule 14. These mechanics ensure that the court has acquired proper jurisdiction over the expected defendant, protecting their right to be heard before the evidence is locked in. At the hearing described in Section 4, the judge acts as a gatekeeper to ensure the process is not used for harassment. The court must be satisfied that the perpetuation of testimony will prevent a failure or delay of justice. If approved, the court order designates the deponents, the subject matter, and whether the deposition will be taken through oral examination or written interrogatories. Section 5 establishes the mechanical link between rules. Rule 24 provides the authorization, while Rule 23 provides the engine for the actual examination. For the purpose of issuing subpoenas or protective orders, the court where the petition was filed functions as the trial court. Rule 24 provides the legal permission to act. Once that permission is granted, Rule 23 governs the actual execution and recording of the testimony. Once the condition precedent is met, and the main allows the deposition to be used in any subsequently brought action involving the same subject matter. However, if the subsequent case involves a different cause of action, the deposition may be inadmissible against parties who were not noticed for those specific issues. While Rule 24 handles the preservation, Rule 23, Section 4 determines whether that testimony is actually admissible during the trial. To bypass the hearsay rule, the proponent must prove the witness is dead, out of the country, or otherwise unavailable at trial. Rule 24 secures the evidence, but the litigator must still satisfy the rules of evidence to have it admitted. Section 7 applies these principles to the end of the litigation timeline, after a judgment has been rendered and the case is on appeal. If a witness becomes unavailable while a case is at the Court of Appeals, a party can move to perpetuate their testimony. The motion must be filed in the trial court that rendered the original judgment, regardless of where the appeal is currently pending. Practitioners often mistakenly file this motion in the appellate court. However, the rule specifically directs the request back to the court that held the original trial. The motion must detail the names of the deponents, the substance of the expected testimony, and the reason for the preservation. This evidence is preserved strictly for use in further proceedings, such as a remand for a new trial, rather than for the appeal itself. Whether used before a complaint is filed or while an appeal is pending, Rule 24 protects the integrity of the evidence against the passage of time.